Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. Welcome back to Yoga with Adele. I am Adele and I'm back. So I've had a week or two off, a little break, and I'm back with another Foundations of Yoga video tutorial for you to just really break down like one posture so that you are able to more deeply understand the anatomy of it, where you should be feeling the stretch, the movement, so that when we come into more of a flowing practice, that the individual postures come to you much more easily. You've got a much more depth of understanding of these postures. And today's posture is low lunge or runner's lunge. Okay, so let's get into it. If you have got a couple of blocks, these may be handy just for you to raise the floor up to you a little bit to make the posture a little bit more accessible. If you've got tighter hip flexors and things like that. If you haven't got blocks, then don't worry. You could use a couple of books, just stack up a couple of books a similar height, and you're going to just need those towards the front of your mat. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of the mat, feet hip distance apart. So this shape is called mountain pose or Tadasana, and I will do another video on all these different poses. But for now, we just want to place our feet just in a hip distance apart position. So find your hip bones. That's not the side, you know, of your hips here, like some people think it's the bony bits on the top, the hip points, and just roughly stack your feet under there just for a moment. And I want you to soften your knees so you're not locking the knees out, just to start to build your foundation here. So first of all, I just want us to feel the posture. So when we're in this runner's lunge, it's quite common because we're trying to get the hands down to the floor for people to really round the spine and round the shoulders through. So I want you to just feel the difference between a rounded back and a straight back with an open heart, open chest. So just first of all, let your shoulders slump forwards, just as if you were standing in a kind of fed up teenager pose type shape. Let your shoulders round, let your chin come to your chest. And also this is the shape that people make, you know, when you are kind of feeling a little bit low, a little bit depressed, maybe anxious, maybe lacking in self-confidence. So this shape is closing off our heart space here. So to open our heart space and our heart chakra, I want you to start to lift up as if you're being pulled through the crown of the head like a little puppet. And you're almost going to start to peel the heels off as if you're going to be lifted right up into the sky. So just start to feel that energetic lift through the crown of the head, and at the same time pull your shoulder blades back so that you begin to feel your heart space, your heart chakra just open and shine forwards. As you rest your hands by the side of your body, you should find that your palms are just resting somewhere on the outside of your thighs. Whereas if you want to do this again, just for a moment with me, when you're in this rounded shape, I'm exaggerating here, but your hands come forwards of the legs, yeah? So lift up, scoop up through the crown of the head, breathe in. Pull the shoulders back, let the hands just rest by the side of the legs. Good, good, good. Breathe out, round the spine, chin to chest, just relax. Let everything go. And then again, press into the feet. Lift, lift, lift up through the crown of the head. Pull the shoulders back and down. And have a little engagement at the belly. So you're not really drawing in tight, but just scoop in a little bit, navel to spine. Good. The next time you breathe out, start to really bend your knees this time as you round your back, just as you did before, letting your arms hang forwards. Now you're going to roll all the way down. All the way down. Bring your fingertips down onto the earth so the knees can be as bent as you want them to be. Now I want you to just slide your right toes all the way back. So here, what I want you to do is just be mindful if you have started to scoop and slide the right toes across so that they're in exact alignment with the left foot, in which case you're going to be on a really wibbly wobbly tightrope. You're just going to be on that one line. So when you slide your right toes back, keep them in line with the hip points so that you've got your feet still hip distance apart. So the fingertips are down, sliding them back. Now I want you to drop your hips. So the bum is at the moment, it's sticking up. Yeah, this is more like a pyramid posture. Now I want to descend the hips. At the same time, I want to try and pull the shoulders back, lift the head, draw that crown of the head up just like we did in standing, and shine your heart forwards. Now this is where I've got quite short arms, so it can be useful to have your blocks or your books and bring them under your hands. So you could have them on a low level or like a medium level or even a high setting up here. And that really helps to drop my hips down. Can you see I'm just dropping them down, dropping them down, dropping them down. The left knee is stacking straight over the left ankle. So be mindful, because sometimes people have the foot right back here, and then what happens is the knee shines all the way forwards, right past the toes, yeah? And that isn't kind to our knee joint. So I want you to keep that foot forward, sliding the right toes back. And when you drop the knee down, ooh, I can feel the deep stretch now in that right hip flexor. I'm shining my heart forwards. Now I want you to squeeze your thighs together a little bit. So imagine you're trying to squeeze them towards each other. It's tough. You'll be able to feel that. If it's too difficult, what you can do is just drop that back knee down now. If you want to stay there for a few breaths, you're going to keep that right knee lifted and start to just straighten out. So press through that right heel, start to press it back, drop the hips, lift the chest. Press the right heel back, drop the hips, lift the chest. Breathe for 3. Keep squeezing together, pressing into the left foot. 2. Lengthening the spine. And now on the 1, drop that knee down. Now you can release the toes. So I had my toes curled under. Apologies, the cat is very old and she just lives there basically on that little sofa, so you might not be able to see properly, but the toes are curled under here to keep that lift and balance. And then when I drop the knee, I just release the toes. So now perhaps you want to lower your blocks. Now you've come down a little bit, still shining the heart forward and lifting the chest, and still trying to draw this left knee in so that the thighs are squeezing towards each other, belly in slightly. So this is our low runner's lunge with the knee down. Okay, to get out of this pose, we can do a couple of things. We can either plant the hands, curl the back toes under, and step back to a pose called downward facing dog, which we'll do again another day. Or from our runner's lunge in this position, sometimes in a flow, in a sun salutation sequence and things like that, we'll step forwards instead. So we can curl the back toes, lift the heel, take the weight in that front foot, kick off the back foot, step it forwards, right foot comes back where it was before, just in line with the hip points, and then we bend the knees. Bending the knees is important so that we can keep the spine nice and safe. Don't want to come up with straight legs and hinge from my back. Oh, cranking myself up like this. I want to bend my knees, start to drop my tailbone, drop my center of gravity so that my back is nice and neutral. And I use the strength of these big, strong muscles. Then I start to stack my spine, roll it up. Breathe in, start to bring that crown of the head up to the ceiling once more. And drop the shoulders, open the heart, come back to your mountain posture. Very nice. Let's try the other side. Take a breath in. On the breath out, bend the knees. Remember the movement down is to just drop the shoulders forwards now, like a ragdoll, all the way down. Now sliding the left toes back. Remember, we're keeping them in line, just in the same line as if you're on 2 tram lines. Now my bum's sticking up. Now to bring it down, you might need to slide your leg further away. Start to drop your tailbone and lift your heart. So I'm trying to get some length between the tailbone and the crown of the head. It may mean I bring my blocks into play here so that I can elevate my chest. Now that back knee is bent a little bit, so I'm going to start to press that back heel away. Come forward a little bit so you can see a bit more. So I'm going to press that back heel away as I drop down. So then it's a big, deep stretch in this left hip flexor here. It's a strong pose. We're squeezing the thighs towards each other. We're activating the low belly, the core. Light on the hands if you can. So try not to be gripping the blocks or the floor for dear life. Breathe if you can for 3 more breaths. 3. Straighten that back leg. Keep the hips low. Don't let them ping up here. Bring them down. So can you see I've got 1 line of energy. 2. Crown of the head to the left heel. And on the 1, bring that back knee down now. We release the toes. So again, you might want to lower your blocks and keep them where they are if you want to. Taking care that that right knee now is stacking behind the right toes over the ankle. Lift the chest, lift the heart. Just feel that big stretch in that left hip flexor. Good. And this time we'll come out of it into our downward facing dog. So curling the back toes once again, planting the hands, sliding the right toes back. Coming into downward facing dog, just bending the knees, lifting the tailbone high, and then you can drop down onto the knees, release the toes, and sit back onto the heels into a child's pose. Just dropping the head down. We'll do another foundations video on child's pose. But just to say here, if you want to take one of your blocks now and just pop it under the head, that's really nice. Relax the back and breathe. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly drive your hands back and roll back up. And there we have it. Foundations of yoga, runner's lunge or low lunge. It's kind of not as easy as it looks when it's done correctly. So, give yourself permission to take your time to practice this. I think it's really, really valuable to go over these kind of videos, these foundations of yoga videos. So it will help you if you are going to kind of a general open yoga class where perhaps people are moving through these flows a little bit quickly and you just want to dig a little bit deeper into the foundations, the alignment of the feet, how it should feel, which muscles you should feel working, and so on and so forth, because the teachers don't always have the time to go over everything in such depth in a flow type practice. So I hope that you found this really useful. If you have, then I would love you to do a couple of things. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, then I would love you to give it a thumbs up. That is amazing and helps me to see that people are getting value from the videos. And I'd love you to subscribe. Subscribing is free. It's not like signing up for anything. It just means that you're a follower of this channel and you may get a notification if you hit that little notification bell of every time I do another video. That's all it means. It's like a supporting of me, of my channel, of my work, and that you will find out when I've done other videos. And also, if you're not already in my closed Facebook group, which is called Find Your Inner Sparkle with Adele, then get yourself over there. I share these videos in that group, and I also share content every single day in that group. So apart from Sundays, every single day we've got different things, different posts. We've got nearly 1,000 people in that community now, which is absolutely fabulous. So I would love to welcome you into there if you're not there already. It's a group, so you have to search on Find Your Inner Sparkle with Adele, and you have to search, click on the groups in Facebook, and it will come up. Request to join, again, it's free. I'd love to have you in there as well. Please do look out for more videos, and drop a comment below if you've enjoyed this, if you've got a question. And that's it for me. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful rest of Monday if you're watching this on Monday. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.